Hi and welcome to Sci-Fi Fans. This is the YouTube channel for movie trivia, as well as interviews. Now, I'd like to talk about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in today's video. I am aware that this is a film that I have covered in a previous episode, somewhere buried in those archives. But as I'm reigniting the channel and trying to get it going again, I thought, what better way than start off with the popular Harry Potter franchise. This time, however, I will be going through all 8 films in sequence with a video on each film. So without further ado, here are my top 5 things, maybe 1 or 2 extra, that you didn't know about this film starring Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Alan Rickman, just to name a few. One stipulation that J.K. Rowling had was that the cast of the film would have to remain predominantly British. So that's the reason why it's such a great British cast in the film, because that is the feel that J.K. Rowling wanted it to have. So it's interesting to note that Alan Rickman was actually handpicked by J.K. Rowling herself in order to play the character Snape. Speaking of the British cast, the one and only legendary, and that word is used quite a lot, but I think legendary is one of the few words that really do describe the person that is Robbie Coltrane. Not only was he a legend on the big screen, but he was also a big TV actor for us in the UK, playing characters such as Cracker. There isn't really a lot I can say that hasn't already been said about Robbie Coltrane, apart from the fact with Harry Potter, that did you realise that he was the very first person to be cast out of everybody for a role, and that was obviously the role of Hagrid. Now, just because you have been cast as Harry Potter does not mean that you still need to get a good education, whether that be in witchcraft and wizardry even, or GCSEs. Because the children that were cast for the roles were still at school and needed to get their education, they were actually given their GCSE lessons on set, and they filmed them while they were doing this. And this was to create a genuine feel within the film that the actors and the characters were actually at school and in lessons learning things. So there you go, they were actually taught their GCSEs on set, and you can watch them in Harry Potter. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of Sci-Fi Fans. Now, if you're listening to me on the podcast, please subscribe to the podcast, like and share, and don't forget to spread the word. Now, if you're watching me here on YouTube, don't forget to do those same things and leave a comment in the box below. That will help me grow the channel and we can build a lovely science fiction based community. I am also on TikTok under Sci-Fi1, sci.fi1, and I produce daily videos on there with more movie trivia. Now, did you know I write science fiction books myself? My first book, Broken Ceasefire, is available on the Amazon bookstore, and I also have a second book called Xander's Salvation. Both titles are available in the Kindle Unlimited program. So far, if you're following me so far, everything that I've mentioned will not cost you a single penny. Now, you can support the channel by buying a copy of my book and leaving an honest review on Amazon. That will help a great deal as well. So in the meantime, thank you very much for your continued support. I will leave a link to all of the ways that you can support me in the description below. And let's carry on with the episode. Thank you very much for listening or watching. When you're making a film on the scale of Harry Potter, it's no surprise that some of the props get broken, particularly the ones that you're going to be using on a regular basis, such as the spectacles that Daniel Radcliffe had to wear for the character of Harry Potter. But did you know that during filming, Daniel Radcliffe actually got through 160 pairs of glasses? Should have gone to Spectators. I think due to the books, everybody knew that they were onto a winner when they decided to make Harry Potter into a film. How much of a winner was still a little bit of a gamble, because in order to fund the special effects and the cast and everything, it would have cost a pretty penny. However, by 2002, Harry Potter had become the second highest grossing movie of all time, worldwide that is, second only to James Cameron's 1997 smash hit Titanic. With the current troubles in Hollywood, with writers going on strike and actors going on strike, I do wonder whether there's a union for the animals. Now the reason why I say that is because Hedwig was played by 3 different owls. They were Sprout, Oak and Gizmo. And I think had they been part of a union, they might have actually qualified for equal screen time because, well, how the owl that was known as Gizmo is actually the one that we see most on screen. So that probably ruffled a few feathers. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me here on Sci-Fi Fans. Hope you've enjoyed yourself, and I take it you are if you're still here listening to me ramble on. So while you're here, why don't you check out some of the other videos and content on the channel, and don't forget to come back for the next one, which will be out in a few days' time. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you then.